Gunshots. Pop, 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 pop. Everybody did it. All right.
In unison.
There you go. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Chop Meat. My name is Philippe. I'm here with my beautiful Western co-host, Chef Jamie Knott.
What's up, guys?
Caught y'all go.
A little bit. I almost put the hat on, dude. It's like,
man, come on.
the hat's,
We would have had a totally new audience by
the hat's fire. You're right.
We played that Beyonce song, Texas.
Oh, the timing is
Controversy.
right. The timing is right. I'll wear it next week.
So let's introduce. We have a special guest today. We have Dr. Real Estate, also known as Peter in the Streets.
Peter in the Streets.
Welcome. Thank you for coming, man. I know Peter for a little bit now. We've done a bunch of deals together now, right?
Yeah.
I think I was doing the count the other day. I think we did 5 or 6.
Wow.
Yeah, we sold Bloomfield.
Yep.
We bought Passaic, sold Passaic. That's 3.
Yep.
Sold Nutley. That's 4. So deal 5. The reason you probably don't remember is because I never got any recognition for it or like a thank you. So I'm here. I'll keep a score.
Thank you.
No. The reason I mess with Peter is because very direct, very much like us, very like gets it done. You know what I mean? There's no and your girl too, Tiana. There's no maybe we'll see, and you kind of. Like, this is what I want, and you kind of make it happen.
Well,
right?
that suit alone says I'm not here to play around. It's a sharp suit, bro. You look great,
it's
man.
Brioni, guys.
You look good.
You guys know Brioni?
I do.
I do now.
Yeah, Brioni is top notch.
That's sharp. You need to shop at Sal Loretta's men's shop.
Salad.
Little shout out
the
there.
guy. Yeah. Like, if you want to do
Sal,
business in New Jersey, you should talk to Sal.
All right.
Sal is the
Not
father.
just-
The son is Ralph
Yeah.
Loretta, but just the way they make you feel over there and the way they make
nice.
you look, man, it's a special place.
Excellent.
In Midland Park, New Jersey. So shout out, guys.
Excellent.
We'll be expecting some sponsorship fees.
Obviously, Phil doesn't shop there, but
I don't think you shop there either. Where do you say, Marvin? Third shop in fucking Montclair.
not today.
Church
Not
Street.
today. I'll give one shout out to Burns on Main Avenue.
So let's bring it back around. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Where
Right.
are you from? Where you grew up?
Yeah.
You know, how'd you play the tape? How'd you fall into this?
Yeah, it's crazy. I'm born originally in Fort Bragg, North Carolina. I'm an Army baby. My dad was in the military.
Army brat.
Army brat, and came to Passaic, New Jersey. Was in my Passaic bubble for almost all my life. My mom, when I was going into high school, so I was always getting into trouble.
Don't bang the table.
I was always getting into trouble. And you know what? My mom worked 3 jobs to send me to a private school. So I went off to a private school in Wayne, and it was like a complete. Can I curse?
Yes.
Okay.
Say whatever you want.
All right. So it was a complete mind fuck.
Okay.
Because up until that point, all I knew was Passaic, New Jersey.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I went to a private school in Wayne. Suburbs.
White people.
White people. And I got to see, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? It was like crazy for me. And
Let me back up a second. Your
Yeah,
dad still in the military?
No,
You
so
stayed
he
in
passed
retired?
away when I was 15 years old.
Sorry to hear that.
Dad was full blown, just loved the bottle too much.
Yeah. Okay.
And full blown addiction.
Brothers and sisters?
Brothers and sisters. He's got 3 sisters and 1 brother.
And
all
you?
still alive.
And you?
And me. I have none. 0.
You're an only child?
Only child.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So my brothers and sisters are my cousins.
That's why you two get along.
Are my cousins from his brothers
Got
and
it.
sisters, right? So that was,
And you guys are close knit.
Oh, we're very close, dude. Those are my brothers and my
And
sisters.
what's your ethnicity?
Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah, full-blooded Mexican American. My dad was in the military, so my dad was very, very American. I mean, 4th of July, this guy was banging Hulk Hogan's "I'm a Real American Hero." And my dad would be
Like a Halo
like straight, like every day was just like America.
Wow.
So he's like, we're Mexican by blood, but you know what? We make our money here in the United States. So that's how I was indoctrinated.
Got it.
Got to the private school, and I got to see all my friends that had parents that were lawyers and doctors, and they had these big houses.
Right.
And I went to those houses, and I was just blown away. And I think that's kind of where the seed was kind of planted for me.
Yeah.
And I think we said this on my podcast. I always had this. My dad was a realtor as well.
Oh, okay.
So I would always see him interacting with people, and he would always tell me, first impressions are everything. He's like, you don't be late. If you meet somebody, give them a firm handshake. Big smile.
He was in the army. So
He was in the army too. Big smile. He's like, that first 3 seconds, people are gonna judge you, so you got to make sure you're on point.
Lock it in.
That he would be telling me that when I was 7.
Yeah.
Right. And so I guess
It only took 20 years to kick in, right?
Yeah, it only took 20 years to really kick in. then I got into freaking entrepreneurship in my early 20s. Got into college, right? Went to school for science. I have a PhD in organic chemistry.
Wow. Where'd you go?
I went to graduate school or undergrad.
Well, yeah, undergrad.
So undergrad, I went to good old Willie P. and Wee.
Okay.
Then I went to New Jersey Institute of Technology.
Got
my PhD. Then I went to New York University. I got a postdoc there. I was in the NIH fellowship, and then I quit 9 months into the program to do real estate full time. This was when I was 28, 29 years old.
What do you think your transition was, like, to prove something to yourself or to your dad, or?
You know, when I
and you weren't in love, obviously, right? Like,
yeah, you know, I didn't like, I absolutely, so I always had the entrepreneurship bug in me, right? So when I got into college and I was doing the PhD, between us, I used to order raw cholesterol powder from China. And I used to have my little lab set up in the back. I'm an organic chemist. I can make freaking drugs. Like, that's what I was really good at.
We'll talk after.
Yeah. So I used to synthesize testosterone in my lab. Straight up.
Oh, we're definitely going to talk.
The funny when he was like,
straight up.
between us, but we're on a podcast.
Podcast, right? But
We'll drop a link after.
drop a link right there, guys.
Trainer was yelling at me this morning, "Where's your test?" Like, bro, I'm natty, son. Let me do this the fucking real
After
way.
today.
So I got hit with the bodybuilding bug. So I was a big competitor in my 20s. And I was like, you know what? Let me try to do this. Let me try to make this shit on my own. And I looked up a research article. I downloaded like 10 papers. I figured out how to make testosterone from cholesterol.
I mean, it's not hard.
It's not hard.
No.
But I made it all. I made all different types of esters. And I packaged it. And all my friends that were cops back then, I mean, everybody.
You want to name them?
No, I'm not naming them. But dude, that's what I was known for. So that's where my
Payback's
entrepreneurship
a bitch.
started.
Just saying.
That's where
I think we don't know. Don't pull us over.
That's where my entrepreneurship bug bit me. Right. So I went from that. Then I opened up a supplement store, right, in Wallington, New Jersey.
You said, I'm going to turn this legal.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn this
Got
legal. Buy supplement and sell
Eventually, it'll
supplements.
just get legal.
Eventually it will get
It's like
legal.
weed.
Yeah, then it transitioned into I did an online fitness course.
Yeah.
I made a high protein ice cream. So in my 20s,
wow.
that's all I was doing.
You got your fucking
Yo, ice
salad.
cream perked my eardrums.
high protein ice cream. Oh wow.
Yeah, that
Dude.
sounds pretty fucking amazing.
I like literally created a
Do
company.
you still do it or no?
No,
Because we got to get in the non-dairy game.
Yeah.
Give me a non-dairy high-protein ice cream, and
dude.
we got something
You're
to talk
lactose
about.
intolerant?
No, but if you look at it, we're not supposed to have lactose in our diets.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
That's
human beings in general. Like, I'm not.
I do have the almond connect. We talked about
Yes, you do.
almond milk.
Wait, well, I partnered up with this guy in Passaic. He's like a known ice cream guy, and I literally said, "Listen, I'll give you 30% of the profits."
Gelati?
What's his name?
No,
That's where I was going.
it's on Market
I
Street.
want to hear how that story went.
It's on Market Street.
Yeah.
It's like the name El Paletón or something like that. El Paletón. If you're watching this, I said, "Listen, give you 30%, 35% of the profits. Let me use your equipment because I know I have this recipe. I can figure it out."
Right.
And he gave me his freaking shop.
Nice.
And he let me order materials that I needed to order, and I started mixing and matching and kind of going through the recipe. And then I ended up creating like 5 flavors.
And this is while you're in school?
Wow, school.
And what like you're in graduate school? You're in
Like undergraduate, graduate school. But see, here's the thought process back then, right? All I knew back then is I just wanted to make money, right? So to answer your question, what was the rationale, right?
Yes.
Driving force was because I was a kid from 6th Street that really, my parents didn't have money. We didn't really have wealth. It was always a struggle. Right? My mom was working 3 jobs. I was like, yo, I got to figure out a way to just make a lot of money. So I always thought I was that next bright idea guy, right? Next bright idea, but I wouldn't see it through.
Right.
I would start it.
Yeah.
And then if it didn't work, it's not, let me stop. Right.
Like I don't want to waste my time.
I don't want to waste my
Instant gratification.
instant
lot-
gratification.
A lot of us have that until we
course.
finally find something we're great at and happen to love, and then we just kind of double, triple down on it,
Yeah, 1,000%. And that's exactly how I got into real estate. I never in my wildest dreams would have thought that I would be doing what I'm doing right now. I got my real estate license really because I wanted to buy multifamilies. And I wanted to buy a multifamily. And I said, you know what? Let me get my license.
And you didn't want to pay the commission.
I didn't want to pay commission, so let me get my license, see what I could do.
So, doctor real estate, you're an actual doctor.
I'm an actual doctor, and it's funny. The second year that I got my license, still I was a part-time agent. I was going to school full-time. I landed a $1 million listing in Wayne, right? And that guy, the seller passed away. His name was Howard. He's the guy that actually told me to call myself Dr. Real Estate.
That's good.
He had a business. He's an entrepreneur. He owned some type of marketing company. I forgot what he.
How'd you get the listing? Through a connection? I mean, it was, wow.
So I'm a big cold caller. I teach my agents how to cold call. That's how I get my properties. I am, and I don't like to tweak my home, but I'm going to tweak my home. I am a nasty cold caller.
Yeah, you got a horn, Marvin? There you go. I mean, I don't want to leave you there by yourself.
The horn has been officially tooted, my friend.
That's what I'm really good at.
Okay, got it.
And so then that's how I got that listing, bro. And I sold it. I ended up selling it.
That's the key, right?
Anybody
can get a listing.
Anybody can get a listing. I ended up selling it, and the guy Howard was like, "Yo," because he knew I was getting my PhD. He's like, I never heard anybody. He was in Wayne. I never heard anybody call themselves Dr. Real Estate. Yeah. You should call yourself the Doctor of New Jersey Real Estate. And I thought that was the dumbest idea in the world.
It was different.
I was like, Howard, that is the most ridiculous name in the world. I'm going to get laughed at. It's so stupid. I'm not going to do that. He's like, I'm telling you, bro. He's like, it's a great marketing brand.
He took it.
And then I just started calling myself Dr. Real Estate. And then now nobody knows my real name. Everybody just knows, oh, Dr. Real Estate. Yeah, I know Dr. Real Estate. That's how my brand blew up. And I was doing what Ryan Sternhan is saying, agents, that Ryan Sternhan is big on building your brand.
Yes.
Right? That's how you get your business.
Well, let me interrupt. So, like, I know you're saying, like, that's how your name or business blew up, but I think you're selling yourself short. Like, you did a lot of work in terms of social media marketing, because I know lots of people with great fucking names, but nobody else knows them. Right. You know what I mean? So talk a little bit about, like, how you jumped onto social media. Like, other people were doing it, you were doing it differently.
Yeah, I think when I started to really hop onto Instagram, when I sold that $1 million listing, a good friend of mine in the business, I don't know if you guys know him, Joshua Barris, NJ Lux. He's like the go-to.
He's big.
He's big, and that's my
does a lot of Bergen County, right?
A lot of Bergen County. I mean, he's like the $10 million.
Yeah, he's just the exclusive in Bergen
very
County,
exclusive.
and I don't think he takes listings below $3 million.
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
Guy's a beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah.
He lives in Saddle River.
Yeah,
I see him at the cafe. He's
a beast, but he's a good friend of mine. And I had a relationship. We still have a relationship with him where I told him, I was like, dude, like I just landed this listing. How the hell am I going to sell this? I have no $1 million connections. I still live with my mom in Passaic. Like, how the hell am I going to sell this? And he was like, you know what? You know what's big right now? Nobody's really using it. Instagram. He's like, do a lifestyle shoot, and I'm going to show you how to do these paid promotions. So I did a lifestyle shoot, and I did these paid promotions, and in a month, I got a buyer from Jersey City. And the buyer reached out to me, actually. I ended up dropping the ball, and I didn't get back to him in time, so another broker got him and submitted the offer, but I still have the property.
Yeah. So you learned. Yeah.
I learned. That's how I started getting into social media. And then I started to realize, like, oh, crap, this shit actually works. Yeah. I got to start doubling down. And then I just started posting content.
Cool. And at that time, you're at a brokerage?
I'm at my first brokerage.
What year was this?
This was 9 years ago. So 2014. And Instagram, when did Instagram come out? 2011. It did?
Yeah.
Were you really?
I'm always been.
I think my first post was 2018 or 2019.
Wow.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
I just wouldn't get on it.
A lot of business owners, they were just like, it's not what I do. And then it changed after COVID where you knew that's what you needed to.
I also built Saddle River Inn on Facebook because that's what my clientele was on.
Okay.
And they're older.
Okay.
And they Facebook is an older app, right?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the platform I used. Answered every comment.
Yeah.
Like for 7.5 years.
Engagement, even to this day. I don't have a crazy amount of people, but even all my businesses, like engagement, like we answer right away. Consultation, we get you on the phone, we get you in. That's how you have all that work.
You do.
They're looking at 30 other people. You don't answer, right? It's like they want convenience, they want instant gratification. They think they're gonna wait.
I can say not just because, I happen to be a client. My daughter's coming in tomorrow, right, for service. You guys are right on it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Right on it.
You have to.
No, yeah.
That's your money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, the reason I was asking is because, like, do you think you'd be where you're at? Listen, you'd hustle and everything, but do you think you'd be where you're at without social media?
Honestly,
or as quick?
I don't think so, dude. I'm going to be honest with you. Social media has been, I would say, 80% of my business. 80% of my, because obviously
new clients, repeat clients,
Right.
showing your listings right away.
I used to do this thing. So when I used to, let's just say I got a listing, right? I got a listing in Clifton. It's under contract. I would circle prospect like a whole block radius or half a mile radius within that listing. My name is Peter. Just put your neighbor's or home under contract for X amount of dollars. Just going to introduce myself and see if you consider selling. If I got you an incredible offer.
Right.
And then what I would do is I would build a database of those sellers. And then what I would do after that is I would create a content video of talking about Clifton and talking about how there's low inventory. And then I would specifically target my ads to that little
Super smart.
little
Tripling
radius.
down, quadrupling down.
So now they're seeing me on the phone.
Right.
And then the videos would be like, oh, I might have called you. So you might recognize this is the face of the voice.
It's also trust from new clients,
Right.
right? New perspective.
Yeah,
like they see,
Yep.
oh, this guy's making it happen.
Yeah.
I mean, look at these sales. Look where he is. He's, you know, he knows those markets. He learns, and he's a likable guy.
And
You know, that helps.
That
right?
helps. That
You're
helps.
positive, good looking dude.
Right.
It definitely, it doesn't hurt, right?
And how much business I got from just doing that was insane, dude. Buyers, sellers.
Well, the proof's in the punch.
Yeah.
Like I sold your neighbor's house across the street for 140 over asking. You ready to make money?
So like in those times, and it's same for me, like you didn't wait till everybody else was on Instagram doing it. You've been doing it for a while. The same was for us. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you could do it afterwards, but you do have to play catch up. You
Right.
fight against everything else. There was a time from 2011 when it started, and I really started utilizing it for business 2013 with one of my other businesses, all the way to like COVID.
Right.
And I just owned the whole space
great.
in terms of salons, tattoos, and any other realtor that did it too owned it.
Yeah.
There wasn't that many. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Even
there
when you paid
wasn't.
for ads. It wasn't that expensive, or you get
PPC
crazy
ad
results.
campaigns were
It was-
super cheap.
Oh my god,
They were
pennies.
pennies
Yep.
and they were during pre-COVID, even during COVID, dude, you were paying pennies on the dollar for these PPC ad campaigns.
And everybody I talked to was like, I don't do ads. I don't have to do it. I got referrals and shit. And it's like, cool. But it's like, imagine if you did.
yeah,
It's not like one or the other. That's what people don't understand. And even to this day, people still have that discussion with me where it doesn't work and everything. So the only way ads work or social media is you have to have content. Though.
Correct.
You have to have great content. And,
Correct.
you know, I know you spend a lot of money, right? We've done some together where we're about to do another one where you have photos for future.
yeah.
Right. Awesome, dude. He comes in and he just like, you know, I'm pretty sure it's just turnkey. He goes in and just does his fucking thing.
That's it.
Showcases the house, edits, puts it together really quick.
Right.
And you're just like, and Peter's sold shithole for me. You know what I mean? Where people
sold
are
the
looking
dream,
at it,
baby.
it's like, he's also sold them to me. But you know, at the end of the day,
That's great.
no, what I'm saying, like, you need all that stuff put together. You can't just be like, hey, I'm on social media. Look, I got a fucking listing or something
Right.
like that. They want to see. Talk about is how you walk a potential client.
Right.
You grab them. Cool. They're interested. And now the process of like, I'm going to do everything for you. Walk us through it.
Okay, so I have to start with an equation that I learned.
Yeah.
Right. And anything that we're selling, right? We like you said, right? We have to offer solutions, right?
Yeah.
And we have to. Our value proposition has to be like sky,
Yep.
right? So you guys know the supply and demand equation, right? Supply is inversely proportional to demand.
Correct.
So what does that mean? That means
I sold drugs. I understand.
when supply goes up, demand. When supply goes up, demand goes down. Right. And so when supply goes down, demand goes up.
Yep.
And it also has an effect on price. Price tends to go up as well. So there's
I also sold drugs. I understand.
yeah, I mean, I think we all have. So we all
We can fix the project now. Now it's food. I didn't get a fucking bell, man. I'm upset, bro.
Well, you didn't do the
hilarious.
triple bells, bro. You got triple bells.
so the value proposition is inversely proportional to two variables. This is how I teach my agents, right?
Yeah.
Because this is how I teach them when they go out there and start trying to convert a seller and walk them through the process. Value is inversely proportional to two things: time delay and effort and sacrifice.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right.
So
So
already sold on it.
yeah. So you need to convince the seller, for example, because you're asking me about a seller.
Urgency.
You need to convince the seller. Time delay. How fast can you sell their property? 2 weeks, 1 week, 4 weeks, whatever. Right. And then effort and sacrifice. So if we're doing a for sale by owner that's getting bombarded with realtors calling them, I want to list your house. I want to list your house. Right. Now we have to convince that type of client how their effort and sacrifice is going to go away if they use us as broker. Right. Now you're not going to get bombarded, Mr. and Mrs. Seller.
Right.
I'm sure you're getting
Your time is valuable.
your
and
time
this
is
how I can-
valuable. I'm sure you're getting annoyed with all these brokers calling you. We're going to remove that from this equation. It's going to be very easy for you. All you're going to expect from me is a call in the next 2 weeks that I got you 10 offers, $100,000 above ask. So now those two variables are going down, right? So what happens to value? Up, right? And then there's two on the top, which are easy to do. Pitching the dream, right? The dream outcome. And then how likely you are to be successful at doing that. That's easy. Everybody can do that. Everybody does that fairly good on social media, right? It's the bottom part that takes a little bit of finesse and skill.
Security blanket.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, your client wants a security blanket.
Exactly.
They want to know if they go with you, everything is taken care of.
Yes.
And they get top value, top dollar for what they're getting.
I have a question. What's a what's a typical contract term for you? Like,
Listing?
For a listing, yeah.
6 months
Okay.
is the bare minimum that I take. So if I think that I can sell it very quickly, I'll do less than 6 months.
Oh, you will.
Yeah. If I can do it quick, like multifamily. for example.
And if you got buyers.
Yeah, and if I have a buyer, and sometimes in this market, there are a lot of listings that come on the market. For example, I'm putting a listing on the market next week in Nutley. It was a pure cold call.
I'm interested.
I
live in Nutley.
Do you?
I do.
I got a buyer, but the buyer decided.
There's 5 houses in Nutley for sale right now.
I
You know that?
It's on Monsignor Place.
One families.
Yeah, 5 single family homes.
Family.
I'm just stating facts.
Unless you buy all 5.
Buy all 5. I'll be your broker.
I'm actually looking at a 3-family in Bloomfield, so
Well, you better talk to me before Peter.
So where were we? I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Where were we?
time frame on contracts. If you know you're going to sell something quickly.
Yeah, if it's 6 months is a minimum. If I'm taking a multi-million-dollar listing, it's a 1 year. Like that's a bare minimum.
Okay.
It takes a little bit longer to sell.
Do you think so? Like, I believe that was true.
Mm-hmm.
I think, quote unquote. So luxury is actually anything over 2.5 mil, but that 1 to 2.5 million, right? There's a percentage there. There's actually less supply
Correct.
than anything else. And I was just reading an article.
No, it's true.
And the demand is a lot higher.
Correct.
So they don't sit as long.
Correct. Because that's
Right now,
Correct.
before COVID, nobody was buying $1 million houses like that. They'd be like,
Correct.
whatever, and it comes and they lowball you and shit.
That was the Mason-Dixon line, right?
Yeah,
It was a
right,
mill.
right.
Even in Nutley.
Well, there's
for single-family
But
homes.
there's millionaire's tax too.
that too.
So like,
Right, but
You buy
everything
something
was
where Mills is
everybody
like-
was afraid to go over like 990.
Yeah.
And then 5 houses on my block sold for $1 million or more.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
In the last 3
Yeah.
years.
classic supply and
crazy.
demand.
It is.
Classic supply and demand.
And Rutherford, which is super close, right?
Right.
But they have a nice big center of town and great
train
restaurants.
station.
Main
Yeah,
line,
great.
and a main line.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, it's like 3 miles away, but
Yeah,
they still
doesn't matter.
1.5, 1.6. Like they're not shy with the pricing. It is a train town.
Dude, it's the way the market is right now. It's just freaking nuts.
Jersey's great. Everybody that shits on it, I'm just like, listen, depends what side you're on, right?
Right.
But in terms, and I was reading that article, and I know because I'm in heavy in real estate, I'm always looking. It's like there's like if you own a house, right? The problem is like, well, let me rephrase.
Where do
this.
you move?
Where do you move, right? And so like if you're loving Florida right now might be the time to go to fucking Florida, right? But like you'll never get as much money for your home right now as like you won't get as much as right now is what I was
Right.
trying to say, right? It's totally it's different. But there's also, so the other thing too is like, I'm sure you hear a lot of people that are like, interest rates are so high, housing is so fucking expensive, I'm
Right.
just going to wait it out. And I'm sure you agree with that, right?
Yes.
Do you?
What? To wait it out for prices?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know, it's very sarcastic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like,
no.
no, hell no.
I'll get through it to you. Why not?
Because like right now is the time. You're not going to have another time the way it is right now because the supply is so freaking low.
Right.
Nobody's building.
From a seller standpoint.
Yeah,
From a seller standpoint.
Yeah,
Everybody's building single family homes.
Nobody's building
There's no money in it.
Correct.
Right? They're building apartment buildings.
Correct.
It's going to renters everywhere throughout
Right.
the fucking
Correct.
the region.
The generations have just changed. Their thought process is totally different.
But-
But I even find millionaires, multimillionaires going back to renting.
Right.
Right.
I mean, it's
people that rent.
it's easier, right?
My buddy.
There's a lot less shit to worry about. The overhead's lower. You know, it's almost like how do you value your time
I mean,
and effort?
You're
That's what
right.
it is.
Right?
My
Do I
buddy
want
was
to mow my
just-
lawn? Do I want to find a landscaper? Do I want to get my drains done? Do I want they're every day,
Dude,
right?
Put it
As
this
a-
way,
as a-
me and my girl, right? We own multifamilies together. We have a nice portfolio. We get great cash flow from them. We bought them at steals, right? And our rent is sky high. We can buy a house, but we choose not to because we don't want to deal
you don't
with
want to deal with any of it.
all the. We want a nice amenity
Your time's important.
building where
Exactly.
we don't have to do shit, and we get to come home to a beautiful place.
Right.
We're okay with that.
Right.
Um,
It is definitely a more modern approach, right?
Right.
To now how-
and I don't know if Tiana told you, but we are finding a place in Miami. We're gonna move to Miami
Well, cool.
probably by May, June.
Move or have a place?
We're gonna have a place. We're gonna be back and forth.
Sucks in the summer.
Yeah, I know it's too hot. It's like disgustingly hot. But that is the flexibility, right? To be able.
I'm sure you tan well, bro. You'll be
I'm
fine.
gonna be dark. I'm gonna
With
just
some 5-inch Philippe Santos shorts on, bro. You'll be fine.
That's all we do.
dude. And
That's not the point.
that next venture is we're gonna open up a real brokerage office down in South Beach. So that's my next like frontier.
Listen, by my apartment, there's all cranes all over, bro.
Yeah.
Everywhere. And like, it's fucking bananas. I mean,
You saw Essex County has the highest tax rateable in the state for any.
I think it's always been like that.
It has, but well,
It's blown away.
we're carrying Newark? No, I knew West Orange was.
West Orange.
West Orange was
crazy.
always high, in surrounding areas, and
Right.
Nutley's high.
Not least.
I was
Not
surprised
least
where
high.
I live is high, you know?
Montclair is pretty high, right?
Pretty high.
Phil loves when I say the word taxes, man.
'Cause it
He
means
just
nothing.
loves it. Like he
No.
can't wait to jump on me for it, bro.
Yes, correct. Because it goes like this. What we
Yeah.
were saying. Interest rates are high,
Right.
and housing is high and everything. But we were just talking about before, like buy a multifamily. And it's like, you were like, hey, she doesn't want to buy it if it's on market. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't give a fuck if it makes sense.
Makes sense.
What do the taxes matter? What do this matter? It depends what you're buying it for. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
Right.
are you buying it to save fucking money? Then yeah, move fucking out west. Go to the fucking Poconos.
Right.
Come back in 10 years like everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Like, go down south. You
Right.
pay for convenience, like
Right.
you said with your apartment. You pay for time.
Yeah.
Do you want to be in your home?
Right.
Pay taxes, hang out with your kids, and do all this shit?
Right.
Or you're gonna bullshit yourself, so you want a better quality of life, and you want fucking 5 acres of just some bullshit. Like you're not farming. What do you need 5 acres for?
Yeah, and then you got to
want the
drive
hour-
55
hour
minutes
commute,
just to,
right.
when your friends see you and everything. You're paying. Money is a tool. And when you're charged something, you're paying for a convenience.
Right.
You want to be closer to New York City? Guess what? You're going to
Pay.
pay. Where is the pay? In this area. Where are the buildings with you're going to get a lot of money in commissions here.
Right.
Go be a realtor in Poconos. I think you'd be like, it's
Yes.
fucking tough. Go be a chef in fucking Poconos. Or I do hair in Poconos.
Right.
You
Right.
know, it's fucking, no offense to Poconos. I snowboard there. I like it.
I love Poconos,
You know,
guys.
we all love Poconos.
And you love it to visit for 2 nights.
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
That's it.
Listen.
The opportunity's here. There's no doubt about
But
it.
that's the thing, right? And now like transition more into mindset thinking, right?
Yeah.
So it's again, it's like, are you in abundance? Or are you in scarcity? That's why I bust your balls.
I
about it,
understand.
right? It's like, oh, the tax. It's like cool, but you're doing something wrong because other people aren't complaining about
For the
it.
record, I wasn't complaining about taxes. I was just saying.
As soon as it comes out of your mouth, it's noted as a complaint. So you might look, Marvin.
Because Phil's checklist is the only one that exists, just so we're all clear,
thank
right?
you. Bells means it's fucking fact.
Yeah, that's
So-
your checklist getting checked off
It's
every
not
time.
just mine. It's everybody's checklist. I'll see you in November. Prudential Center. You going?
I'm in.
See? Yeah, see, yeah.
Done.
My guy is good.
Done, baby,
Good.
done.
But so yeah, to segue back to your question, that's how I pitch, a seller
Yeah.
to do something, right? Because if you can do that and you can pitch it, listen, we're all selling a product, right? Doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you're a chef, you own hair salons, I do real estate. We're selling a product, and that product is ourselves.
Correct.
First and foremost.
Oh, you're your
right?
own brand. Absolutely.
You're
right.
your own
Especially
brand.
us three here.
Right.
Yeah,
We're our own
you're
brand.
your own brand. So I try to teach my agents, and you have to have a little bit of a basic knowledge set. And I think in this market right now, there are a lot of realtors out there that I talk to them. I'm like, how the hell are you in this business?
Right.
Right. Because there's two core topics that I think every agent out there 1,000,000% needs to know. Number one, it's prospecting. Agents don't prospect.
They don't.
It's not rocket. It's so for example, I'll give you a quick
Prospect
example.
what? Other agents?
No.
Or
Like
just-
just to get business.
Yeah.
Right. So
No,
for
they think
example,
you're going to give them everything.
no. Yeah. No, you have to get sellers, right? Get
It's not
buyers.
just
whatever.
real estate, by the way.
Yeah. Anything.
You know what I
anything.
mean?
Prospect
It's
for
a
new
service
clients, right?
industry, it does anything.
Prospecting
yeah.
for new clients, it doesn't matter. So when we were going through this whole craziness the last year where the interest rates are 8-9%, right? And no inventory, right? A lot of agents really just kind of left the business, right? So in that time frame, we launched the Velocity of Money Enterprise. So that it's a mortgage, it's a consultation company for mortgages, right? So we are a marketing and a consultation company. And what we do is we are affiliated with 5 broker lenders across the United States, right? We get hired as business development managers for the Velocity of Money Enterprise. And because we are hired as a business development manager, all the buyer leads that we get, we give them to those 5 affiliated lenders out there. And now we can legally get paid 30, 40, 50, 60 basis points. So why did I do that? because I knew that there was a market there for agents that were struggling, right? So maybe they're not good with getting listings, but guess what? They're good with buyers.
You're filling in the other hole that they have.
I'm filling in the other holes that they have, right? So now a cold call, right? For example, it used to be where, Phil, you just said you're keeping this house because you want to die in it, or you're leaving it for your children to build more generational wealth. I know you don't want to sell, but would you be interested in taking 15 minutes of your time? Let me show you how we can take some of the equity in this house that you have, because you have a lot of equity,
Utilize it now.
and use it to purchase maybe a two family, 4 family, 5 family, 6 family.
Or just pull it out and do whatever you want.
Or just pull out, do whatever you want, so you can continue to build generational wealth. Would you be interested in that conversation? They always say yes.
It's the same. It's the same client. So instead of giving one product, you just did the cold call. They answered the phone. So obviously, you want to hit them with whatever you have.
And here's the
makes
genius part
sense.
of it, right? Now my agents that are business developing managers, now if that person ends up doing a cash out refi, 75% LTV, now they're going to get paid 50 basis points on that new loan amount. But guess what? Now they have a pre-approved buyer. So now if that person buys a 2 family, now that agent is going to get paid on that pre-approval second deal. But they're also going to make money on the real estate commissions. 3 deals
Wow.
from one freaking cold. There's nobody doing that
Nobody.
right now. Nobody. But that's how I teach my troops.
Yeah, you found a gap in the business that needed filling, right?
We do that in our industry where it's like somebody's coming in for one service,
Okay.
but they're not just coming in for one service. You know what I mean? It's
Value
like-
adds.
It's value adds.
Value
You know what I
adds.
mean? It's the same thing. What happens is 2 things. First, it's the client. They feel phenomenal with
Right.
it, that they have all this value.
Right.
Secondary, right, and even tertiary is now you have these people that work for you, that
Right.
you've molded, that you've inspired, that you taught, that you trained, right? And they don't have only one revenue of income. They
Right.
have multiple streams. And if they hit it right,
Right.
which, listen, out of 10 people, 2, 3 people hit all 3.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
Correct,
But
correct.
as it goes down, you're just creating this. And on top of it, you're doubling your revenue and
Right.
everything. So that's very good. That's smart, man.
Especially to get it from one person.
Dude,
Correct.
it's-
So you don't have to go out and do it again and again and again. You
dude,
got it.
it's so,
you know.
and that exact scenario happened to one of my agents. She's 22 years old.
It's like an Herbalife pyramid scheme. But I like
Dude, she made like
Herbalife does good.
22 years old with one client from a one cold call, $42,000.
Good for her, man. That's awesome.
But see, most agents, they would stop at, oh, this person wants to die in the house. Oh, this person is leaving it for their kids.
Right.
There's no deal.
Let's be honest. Most people just aren't good at rejection, man. They
That's-
say
yeah,
no.
you're right.
They don't even pick up the phone.
You're right.
Or talk to somebody
Yeah.
based on the fear.
You're right.
Paralyzing them of like, what if, you know the deal, right? Most
You're right.
people go in, what if they say no? Nobody goes in, what? Only if you go, what if they say yes?
What is the saying? Fear is a trench that is 1,000 miles wide and 1 inch deep.
Yeah.
We keep ourselves back from everything. There's nobody else stopping us on any level.
Right.
We've already had the conversation in our mind that we're going to get turned down. So, oh shucks, I'm not picking up the phone.
There's this article, there's this doctor out there. His name is Dr. Mark Leary. And I read his paper 6 years ago. I'm still a nerd. I like to read papers. And he had this paper called Interpersonal, what was it called? Interpersonal rejection, something about interpersonal rejection. Long story short, what he said in this paper was the human mind, the human brain cannot tell the difference between what's a real rejection
Correct.
versus what's imaginary in our head.
Wow.
So if we're automatically going into saying, oh, this person's going to say no, what if they say this? What if they say that? Your brain can't tell the difference. So you're already setting yourself up for
Because it's
disaster.
internal. It's not on the outside looking at it. It doesn't know if it's a real threat or not.
Dude, but they did MRI scans on the brain, and you
It's
could
the
see
same.
it.
Yep.
You could see the parts in the brain that are lighting up, and it looks the same.
It's real to the brain. Try telling
Yeah, it's
someone
real,
that doesn't like planes to get on the fucking plane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
They're just like, no, it's not
It doesn't matter what you say.
Have you looked at the statistics? You're pretty, like, driving's worse. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or,
Yeah.
or when you hear motorcycle, I rode motorcycles. Oh my God, it's so dangerous. I'm like, technically walking fucking.
That
Right.
blew my mind, guys, because I was like, holy shit, like, wow, I got to go into every call like saying, I'm going to fucking.
Without a doubt.
It's how you talk to yourself.
Yeah, like, no problem.
Literally, because you just said it, right? How you talk to yourself, how you internalize that, what your brain thinks is it a threat or not.
Right.
So, in the beginning, you have to cancel out all those things. And then obviously, as you build some traction, you actually know how to talk to yourself.
Right.
And also the people that talk to you.
Right. And I'm sure there's times you're on a call and you're like, wow, I'm pretty good at this, man. This is,
I'm pretty nasty.
Yeah,
I can't deny.
Do you like it when you get your challenge? Like,
Of course. You know who challenges me a lot? The multi-million-dollar cold calls.
Yeah.
So I landed a $4.5 million estate in Mahwah, New Jersey, 33 Bramshill Drive that I ended up selling. That was a pure unadulterated
I'm
cold
watching
call.
Jamie right now, like, why not?
It was a
Right or wrong?
21,000 square foot estate
On a cold call.
on a cold call.
If nobody gets anything from today, cold calls are it, right?
The guy was such a dick on the phone. He's like, you got some major balls calling me. Don't you ever fucking call this house, this number again. That's literally what he said to me on the phone.
How long did you have him on the phone?
And I said his name, I'm not going to say his name, but
All
I'm going to say, Phil, listen, put the beast back in the cage. This wasn't meant to be a sales call. That's literally what I said to him.
Wow.
I was like,
Good.
Phil, let's put the beast back in the
Right.
cage. I was like, whoa.
I'd respect that. If
Put
I heard
the
it.
beast back in the
Absolutely.
cage. And
I'd be like, you got
I want
30,
somebody
you
that
got 30
challenges.
more
yeah,
seconds.
and in that moment, silence for 5 seconds.
You stopped them.
I stopped them.
Brakes.
Hit the brakes.
And then
Got down a little bit.
Right.
And I went right into my pitch because I knew I had 5 seconds to deliver my pitch.
right away. Yeah.
And I got him. I got him hooked.
What'd you say?
I think I said, listen, your property's been on the market. His property was on and off the market for 9 years.
Wow.
So he just thought you were another person.
He just thought I was another
Yeah, the
person.
process has been fucking grueling to him, right? He's over it.
And I took a big risk on that one because once I actually got to meet him and I met him, I actually did something that I would normally never do. I actually said, I'm going to upfront pay for all the marketing upfront with no strings attached. There's nothing in writing between you and I because I want to show you what I can do differently than these other
You want
brokers.
to have a client for life.
That's what I did. So I paid that upfront.
Wow.
And nobody does that. No, but no listing agent pays for all the marketing. It was like maybe like $6,500.
Okay.
And I showed him. And then he gave me the listing.
Good.
That was my
you
craziest
did it
goal.
before the list.
Paid off.
It did it before. That was the
Yeah, you
risk.
got no listing
I thought-
agreement.
No
you put it up.
listing agreement.
That's what got him.
That's what got.
That's what got him. He said, this kid's really going to make it happen
He's
for
rolling
me.
the dice.
And I was like, it's funny.
Probably respected the hustle too.
Yeah,
You know,
of
like the
course.
guy's rolling the dice. He's not getting anything. I'm gonna give him a shot. We like doing that.
What'd you close at? What was it?
3.5 million,
Okay.
$1 million less. But I could have double ended it. But again, I fucked up. A guy called me. I learned. A guy called me. I thought he was bullshitting. He was like, I'm all cash. I want to take a look at this property. It's for my family. And I said, all right, send me proof of funds. Never send me proof of funds. And then long story short,
You didn't follow up.
I didn't follow up. And then when the contract came in, it's like, wait a minute.
You said you're a Ryan Serhant. Didn't you ever watch that story?
Dude, I know.
How many times he followed up with
I
that
know.
tokeny guy was from Tokyo,
I know.
businessman.
And it was legit.
Yeah, 42 million. Like,
Dude, I shoot myself in the foot. Like, oh my God.
You-
he's like
I
the
learned
guy.
from
He
that.
said the guy
Would you
ghosted
do it
him for.
again?
What?
Not follow up.
Oh, hell, no.
So it was worth
I
it.
learned. I follow up I tell all my agents.
Stupid. That's Jamie. No, but like
It's the
I
key.
learned that, right? I learned to take emotion out of it. So I follow up. I'm not like, do I hurt this guy's feelings? Once in a while, still, right?
Right.
But like I conquer and everything because I'm not just like, like once you understand what your objective is, it's just like it's like go until you get it. If not, you're gonna interject your own bullshit fears and
Right.
fucking why not do it?
And the brain's going to think it's.
And once the brain takes
Right.
over, it's a fucking wrap. You know what I
Dude.
mean? Like
And that, I've learned now with my agents, right? Because when somebody that's new to cold calling, it's a big thing, right? It's
you got to break down so many barriers.
Yeah, it's a lot of barriers to break down. There's a lot of rejection that comes into it. But what I've learned is there are little tiny wins that come along the way, right?
And you got to celebrate them.
And we got to celebrate those wins. But we also got to get to those wins as fast as possible.
Celebrate
early
them
on.
very fast.
Yeah, early on because it's
I
going
think we should define celebrate because somebody challenged that theory this week that I was with.
Oh, really?
I'm not going to call him out.
If he challenges, you got to call him out.
But he said it keeps him hungry. Chef RD, Ryan
Ryan,
DeFercio.
Ryan, that's our dude, bro. That's
Yeah, when he heard
it's a
it, he's
good
like,
challenge.
bro, I totally disagree with it. It keeps me hungry when I don't celebrate. And I said, it's not about that.
different.
It's not about that. It's a small, short,
Right.
boom. That was a good lesson.
It
Let's keep
doesn't
moving
it doesn't
forward.
mean settle.
Right.
It means like cool. We did this. Celebrate. Boom. Let's go.
Yeah, we're not
That
retiring.
momentum,
We're
right,
high-fiving
right.
and moving on.
That energy.
Yeah, momentum.
So you're building like it's going. It's going. If you wait till you get here, it could be such a long fucking path.
Right.
Right. And so you also forget about all those little moments. It
Right,
doesn't mean
you do.
fucking celebrate, sit back and relax.
Right. We're not retiring.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
right,
not
right.
like that.
Yeah.
It's like so. I'm pretty
Like,
sure I understand what he's saying.
When you bang out a great set and you're proud, you fucking you hit your guy and you move on. That's it.
That's it.
Your brain remembers that.
I do that with my son. I do
Yeah.
it with everybody, right?
You have to.
I celebrate all the wins, and like, you know, but fast. You did say momentum and
Fast.
speed is important. It's not like celebrate a win and then 6 months later, yo, we're doing what you said. We're celebrating another win, bro. You know what I mean? It's like, yo, it's too late.
So I learned that momentum and speed
Yeah.
are the killer forces in
Where'd you learn that?
The Art of War. I read
I
that
thought it
book.
was somewhere that you went.
No. I read, I don't know the generals. I don't know what his name is.
Yeah.
But the Art of War, I read that book.
Suwu.
Is it?
He's making.
Who? Sun Tzu.
Sun Tzu.
Oh,
I
you
said
were
some,
close.
I said
You
some
said
blood
Su
shit.
Wu.
Suwu. I was like, these us, he's down.
I read, dude. If you guys should read that book because that book is freaking awesome. I learned speed and momentum are the killer forces in any competitive sales environment, right? And when your team is riding the wave of momentum, right? Even the most shy, and I see this literally every single day with my agents. Even the most shy, even the most timid agents out there become very strong, right?
Right.
And then when they become very strong and they get confident, right?
Right.
That starts to leak to everybody. on the team,
Confidence
Well,
is huge.
right? And then it's productivity just goes through the roof.
Right.
You ever drive a car fast?
Yes.
Okay. As you drive faster, right?
Yeah.
Are you more concentrated holding the steering wheel?
Am I more concentrated?
More concentrated. You're going faster.
Oh yeah, you have
100
to.
miles an hour, right? You have to, right?
You have to.
That's momentum and fucking speed.
That's a
right?
good analogy. I
So
like that.
like what happened? I just made up on the fly, by the way.
It's true, though.
It's true.
I think the
Because it's
same
like,
thing.
You have to. So that's why speed.
I'm
and
driving
momentum is
35. I
so
don't pay
important.
attention.
You know, you're texting and doing whatever
Of
the fuck it
course.
is.
135, I'm paying attention.
135.
The
Yeah.
phone's down.
Over here.
Yeah, exactly.
My die.
You're locked in.
But you are, right?
Yeah, you're
And
locked
what
in.
happens also, your performance elevates.
Yeah.
You're at a peak level of performance. Like when, and you know, I don't condone it, but like when we're speeding and shit and
Right.
doing it with the cars, right?
Right.
Like I see what the cars happening over here. I did it with motorcycles. I snowboard. So like I'll look at their side view mirrors, right? And I could see by the position they're doing if they see me or not. I could look at driveways. You just
Right.
you're-
You look at their back left
it's like
tire.
the-
you're looking at.
it's like the Matrix, you know
Right.
what I mean?
You're in a flow
like,
state.
You're
Yeah.
in flow state. Perfect.
Right. You're
yeah.
looking at 100 things.
So like that's why when I tell everybody, I'm like, you got momentum. Don't let the foot off the gas. Most don't understand it, but it's like you're in flow state.
Aren't you glad most don't understand
You're
it?
good. Yes, like 1,000,000%, right? Like the whole thing is like, should everybody be fun? No, but I also like it when you find one or two people that like understand it, and like we're having this conversation,
Right.
And you're like, yo, I'm speaking my fucking language,
Right.
You know what I mean? You're not like just lost. But yeah, once I understood that, so people will go back to like, you know, they'll call it you know, what's the word I'm looking for? When you want stuff too much.
Manifesting.
No. Like some sort of eagerness, you know what I mean? Or just like
Oh, almost.
starts with an A. Too ambitious.
Okay.
So when you're too ambitious, right? Their fear, they'll try to, and somebody did that to me. They tried to post their fears onto me. You're like, you're being too overly ambitious. You know what I mean? You're being too fucking this. You're being too this, too this. And it makes you question it, right? But it's like, you have to be. It's when you get creative.
Right.
It's like when you have the pressure we talk about, or when you have that speed, or when you're this, what do you can't fall back and just chill.
I do the same thing. I do it in a small way. Like, I work at Kinjo 1 day a week. We're a 6-day operation. Bill needs a day off, right?
Yeah.
He's a human being. And I get there right as service like starts. So I'm locked in. I have
You're
to
ready.
be.
Okay.
I'm ready, and my body knows it.
Wow.
I literally drive a little bit quicker, and I get there right when I need to get there.
Right.
I get changed. I'm fired up like the whole time. I'm like giving myself a locker room speech, and I'm so fucking locked in. These cooks are like, "Where does this guy come from?" It's crazy. I'm like, "Is everybody ready?" A high five, say hi to everybody when I walk in. So you got to say hi and bye. It's the biggest thing in the world for me, man. I don't like it the other way. I really don't. I used to do it.
Well, you're
I
also
would tell myself,
passing your energy and momentum too.
that's my job.
Listen, you know, I high five.
That's my job. Yep.
What happens is
It's a transfer of energy.
right?
Yeah,
Where it's
yeah.
like where you do this, right? You're opening up your diaphragm, right? Your lungs, everything. You're breathing differently. They have to react to the same energy.
Right.
So it's a physical, You know what I mean?
It
Think
is.
too. It's not just like, hey,
And
what's
you're
going on?
100% right. Like, I'm there to bring the energy.
Right.
And that's what I try and pass on to my management.
It's great.
Like, guys, we are the bringers of life and energy to this space every day.
Right.
And it will be passed on to the guest and create an experience.
Yeah.
That's what people want to come back for.
Right.
They remember how they felt.
Right.
Something could have been a little overseasoned or a little too strong, but they felt great.
Right.
And they remember that.
You also set a standard, right? Which is
Yes.
important nowadays, right? It's always been, but like even more so. Like I've focused a lot in the last year. Standards and non-negotiables,
Okay.
right? And there's like shit you let pass and everything. I have non-negotiables. Like you can't be late. You can't leave early. It's nothing to talk about. It's just a non-negotiable, right? And then I have standards: how you're dressed, how you portray yourself. You have to smile. You got to, the deal.
Yep.
Same with you, right?
Right.
You got to pick up that phone. You better be smiling.
1,000%.
You might not think it. When somebody calls me, I know, hey, what's going on? And it's like, hey, Mr. Santos, what's going on? How can I help you? I'm like,
Right.
this little motherfucker's got some,
Yeah, he's got
some
some-
in it. You know what I mean?
TR says wherever focus goes, energy flows.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
So that's
Through the
model.
phone, too.
I tell my agents, they can't see you, obviously, but guess what? They can
feel
feel
it.
your
Yes,
fucking
they
energy,
can.
guys. So
They
if you're
can
down,
hear your smile.
that ain't good. You got to hit them with energy.
You do.
That's awesome. That's good stuff.
It's hard. It's hard to produce all day, every day, when that's
Yeah.
all you do is give people energy.
Yes.
And unfortunately, my wife gets the negative side of that sometimes. When I've been at work for 14, 15 hours, just give.
Right.
My tank's a little low, and I get
it's
home,
just
and I'm like,
Misdirected. Yeah, you're right.
my tank's a little low. When
I was
get
gonna say
home.
misdirected. I
here's-
like to call it misdirected anger energy
Well-
because sometimes I have a busy ass day too, and I come home, I'm like, oh shit.
So now the question is, it was for him, but it's for both of you guys,
Yeah.
right? So, like, what do you guys do to replenish the cup? Because we're givers. We're leaders. You both fucking side real heavy at the same fucking time.
Holy shit!
I was like, I wasn't that fucking big of a
Deep breaths. It must
Holy
be
shit.
It's got to be a big thing.
But
for
you see
both
how
of
you
us,
guys
man.
even linked up with it?
We
as I asked
did.
it?
Funny. Holy crap!
So what do you do
What do you do?
to fill up your cup, man?
Exercise has been big for me.
Yeah.
Gratefulness prayers.
Let me rephrase it. Who, not what.
Myself.
Can't.
I know.
Can't fill up your own cup. That's not good. Like it's okay. This isn't like a call out. You know
No,
what I
I
mean? But it's
understand.
like who? That's what made the difference for me. Anybody, but like who?
You're right. I
You know
said
what
it
I
to
mean?
myself in the shower today. I was like, I'm not calling my people enough. I'm
Yeah.
just not doing it.
Right.
Like I find myself not picking up the phone enough just to be like, yo, what's good? Like we don't talk enough on the phone.
But like no, listen, and I appreciate that, right? But like, I'm not enough. Like those because it's primary, secondary, tertiary with that stuff too. Like your primaries are the ones you reach out to, right?
Right.
The secondaries are who do you travel to go see. You have to make time for that shit, no matter what. Like we go somewhere, it's not just like, hey, I've been there, I'm good. It's like you got to do a lot of personal development. Tertiary is podcasts, books, Instagram, like what you feed yourself on a daily basis, right? So you have direct phone calls, you have direct meetups, you have people that are just inspiring and you're taking from them, and then you have what you curate around yourself, right? So that's real important because, as you guys were saying, you're big fucking givers, right? After a while, you're just going to be depleted, or you're not going to get a refresher. You need to get inspired too. You need to come, like I go quarterly, I go somewhere, I always want to. I was going to say whether I want to or not. I always want to. Yo, I leave, I'm fucking, I was telling them the other day, I'm fucking like, bow, 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 just fucking firing on all engines. You know what
That's
I mean?
awesome.
But it's like, imagine what that'll do for your lives. Right? Because
So we got to do that.
100%. I mean,
I got to do that.
things like this help tremendously. When I leave this podcast, I feel great for the
Yeah.
rest of the day. I go and I get on the phone right away.
Yeah.
It's so funny now that
deliver
I'm
it.
making that connection.
Well, now
You know?
do this on a consistent basis, and like this doesn't have to be every day, but in the sense of like find your net, right? And I'm going to challenge both of you guys, and I don't need an answer today, but like find the next person, seminar, something you're going to go to, whether it's real estate specific or whether it's mindset, physical, whatever it is. Find something. You know what I mean?
I want to go to that guy you went to.
He's good.
Yeah, I want to go to that.
He's good. He's that whole
Who,
network
Eric?
Thursday.
Is it Eric?
Eric Spofford, bro. Shout out to my homie, yo. Really good dude.
I'm a big fan.
Exited 150. Now we're gonna go see him. We're flying out to Miami Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Nice.
He exited for 115 million. Got clean, opened up rehabs, and then he did other stuff too. And now he's going big into real estate. Section 8. He's buying a lot in Ohio. When I was talking to him, and he's definitely one of us, or we're not one of him. You know what I mean? Where it's
Nice.
like, but he fills his cup up too. Listen, the dude's like very wealthy. He's on the nations, but like, and the people he surrounds himself with. He was just on the boat, and they were fucking around. But like, nobody is on this boat that doesn't make at least 7 figures a month,
Wow, I love that.
right? Because you got to have those ideas. You got to like,
I love
and
that.
even when I was on his boat, that you don't talk about money. You're just like, what do you do? Oh shit! You just try to see if there's some sort of connection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I left with so many people
That's
we
awesome.
linked up with and everything. So that's the other thing. Like, it's not just what you get. It's like if you don't go, what you don't get. You know, you get capped out. You look at
Nobody
the world,
thinks of that other side
you
of it.
look at the world with different eyes. You know what I mean? You come back and you're like, oh shit. But like, yeah,
You'll find that your circle changes constantly
Right.
because of that reason, right? Like, if we sit around and talk about money when we're not even talking about money with people who don't think that way,
Right.
we're being assholes. There's no humility. I'm bragging. It's like, no, it's just, I want to talk about new ideas and how do we
Right.
build? Like, it has nothing to do with money. It has to do
Money
with,
is- money is
it has
like
to do
that.
with me never looking at a bill as long as I live.
Well,
That's
that-
what it's about.
But that's the taxes conversation, right? But it's also like the money thing is like when I work with somebody, it's based on relationship and everything. Obviously, it has to make sense, but I don't have to talk about it the whole fucking time.
Right.
I was telling him a little bit like we were looking at something that's like 10 million, and our conversation. How are we? I'm like, don't even worry about it. If it makes sense, don't worry about it. Doesn't fucking matter. And I know sometimes it's hard to grasp, like, what, it's $10 million, it doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, but if you did all your homework and you did all your research on it,
Right.
and you know it pays for itself, it literally
Right.
doesn't fucking matter. So, like, you eliminate, it's the same what you just said in terms of, like, you don't have to worry about paying a bill. It's the same fucking thing.
Right.
Right? And then just, like, being around people, it teaches you how to talk differently. It teaches you how to look at things differently. So, yeah. I
This is
challenge you
great.
guys.
Filling up the cup.
Filling up
Absolutely.
the cup.
Now that's something that I got to work on. Filling up the cup.
Because you guys are hitting it. You guys are like fucking killing it in your industry, right? It's not like that. Because it's the thing is like if you're killing it here, there's a young kid or somebody who's gonna pass you. That's just what it is. You
It's
pass
what it
somebody,
is.
you pass somebody, I pass somebody.
Right.
You think it stops at us? You know what I mean? I know we like to think it, right? We're like, oh, this is what I created.
So
look, at all these, look at all these little kids looking up to me. It's like they're gonna fucking
They're gonna
swallow me really
Right.
quick.
They
I
are.
saw some younger, 26 years old, and he reminds me of me when I was 26 years old. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker's about to
Surpass
crush
me,
this
bro.
fucking
Yeah.
industry right now. I gotta go here.
But
But
that's the thing. What are you doing outside to like
Right.
fill your cup?
but you keep young people around you
I
as
do.
well in that regard. Like, so do I. Like,
Right.
you know, I got reinvigorated culinarily speaking because I hired a young chef who's fucking talented and happens to be a great guy. But like, that's what I need around me, you know?
Need that. Listen,
And that fills my cup. That fills my culinary cup. But if I'm not challenging myself
Well,
and hiring to my
it fills it to a
weaknesses,
certain degree. I was gonna say, if I had a whiteboard, I fucking love whiteboards. Right?
yo, that's going to be something new now,
Like,
right?
The thing is this: cool. You have a young person in whatever our industries are.
Yeah.
We hire a lot of young, new talent, invigorating
Right.
ideas, change everything.
Right.
And then we're here. We're the top of the talent.
Right.
Right. Who's above us? Why are we here? Why aren't we doing what they're doing? Because that's really what the key is. They're coming after us. Why aren't we chasing somebody else, following and doing everything? Why did we lose whatever fucking strive? Because we hit here,
Right.
Right.
And so like, and then on top of it, you need people challenging you and pushing you,
Right.
us, you know what I mean,
Right.
friends to like go do that shit, go do that shit, because it's out of your comfort zone.
Right.
We love being king. You know what I mean?
That's the problem. You
Yeah.
get comfortable and you slow down a
I
little
mean,
bit,
listen,
right?
I'll tell the audience. Am I nervous as fuck going down to Miami? 1000%.
Right.
Right
I am
there.
very uncomfortable, like, because I got everything here.
I got you, bro.
I'm like, fuck.
I'm
Can I
like-
really do this?
In Miami, bro.
Mr. 305.
I'm just not myself. Yo.
You need a car? I got you. Bro.
I love it.
Yeah.
You need places to eat? I got you. Jamie's looking to open up something down there, so you'll be good.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, I mean, it has to happen, right?
You have to, dude.
It's just a natural progression.
Listen,
Like,
natural
buy a strip
progression.
mall. You know what I mean? Real estate. We do the fucking
Okay.
restaurant. You know what I mean?
Boom.
Plus, we'll own the building, so that way they all pay rent. You know what I mean? Like,
Boom.
makes sense.
Boom, baby, boom.
That's it. Marvin's gonna open up a studio down there. They're gonna take care of us. Good.
oh, yeah,
Have
that's
up here for
key,
the
brother.
podcast.
That's key. We need that studio
It
down
was
there.
real fucking hard twisting his arm.
No, the audience didn't see, but right away he's like, "Yup,
Like the way
let's
the
go,
weather
let's
is set
go."
up over here, and little windy and shit. So no, listen,
It's great.
you got anything else? Go ahead.
I was just gonna say to name your office, how many agents? Like, I wanted to.
Yeah, so
Let's promote you a
we're
little bit,
with
brother.
a cloud-based brokerage called Real.
break down what I know it is, but break down what a cloud-based brokerage is.
Right. So right now we have two models of real estate: the traditional model think about traditional
Brick and mortar.
brick and mortar, right? And I'm not going to name the names,
Yeah.
but you guys all know the names. And then you have cloud-based
Yeah.
brokerages, right? That went completely away from brick and mortar. They're able to invest more in their agents, and they're able to basically generate or help set up different ways of revenue streams for their agents.
And more new idea too, so they don't have all those expenses.
Exactly.
They don't
The
have
fixed costs are
correct. Fixed costs are
But they could also
Non-existent.
invest into
Yes.
marketing, promoting everything.
exactly
So commissions.
higher commission splits, right? But cool thing is, like, for example, for somebody like us, you know, when I was at the traditional brokerage, I was getting coached and groomed to be the new broker owner of the new office. It wasn't my thing. It was too much liability. It was really expensive to own a brick and mortar. Like, the expenses just crush you. So the only way to really get around that is you got to go into the pockets of the agents. So the splits are not all.
somebody's got to pay for it.
Somebody's got to pay for it. And it's the agents that are paying for it.
Got it.
But then as I started to progress and learn how all these brokers do their business, I was like, damn, man, everybody has, you know, the title, everybody has the mortgages, right? Real estate, whatever. But the agents, right? The grunts, the peasants, us, the soldiers, we're not being tapped into any of that, right? So we're destined to work for the rest of our lives. I mean, have you guys ever heard of a retirement party for a realtor? Don't happen.
That and strippers.
Yeah, it don't happen.
They're the same person.
Yeah, it don't friggin' happen. We got to work for the rest of our lives, and it's a feudalism system. It's like the broker owners; those are the kings, queens. You know, you got the generals, you got the mid people or whatever.
Right.
None of that is given to this bottom portion. So going into these cloud-based brokerages, I always knew in my head, I was like, okay, I was once a soldier peasant, right?
Right.
How can I leverage this model where I can basically run a brokerage within a brokerage, but not have to be legally responsible for any of it, like a broker owner, right? But now I want to tap my agents into all that money, right? Break it off, right?
It's almost like profit sharing.
Yeah, it's like profit sharing, and that's why we moved over to Real, right? And at Real, now in 7 months, I've only been at the company 7 months, and I've grown to 150 agents now.
Wow.
I have 150
In this
agents
area or just all over?
in this area. I have 150 agents in my organization. And, you know, now we launched the Velocity of Money enterprise. So over there, we got 10 loan officers in that. But now I can start plugging in agents into the Velocity of Money.
That's the same job. Yeah, you don't need to get new ones.
We don't have to get new ones, right? So now all my top producers, now I can tell them, let's hire you as a business development manager. Let's make you more money. So if my agents work their way up to a 90% split, right? Add another 50 basis points on mortgages. Now they're really at a 120%.
A 90% split of the commission?
So they got
what?
They got to work their way up to a 90%.
No,
split.
I get it. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not like challenging that. I'm trying to understand it more. So, how do you guys make money based on volume?
Based on volume.
But if there's no supply,
Exactly. If there's no supply,
you guys like kind of like I know the cold call and that's how you get them.
we are
But you're capped at a certain point.
We
with
are-
what supply is, right?
correct. But in my team, for example, last year we did
Technically, he's not if he's the cold call king because he's creating his own market.
I am creating my
Correct. But to an extent, not capped, but like you gotta.
right.
But just like
I understand what
the
you're
fact
saying.
of the matter is they're just not building. You know what I mean?
They're
Like,
not
it's
building.
a shot on him. They're not sorry.
Right.
I'm just asking these questions.
Right. So, for example, last year we did 65 million in sales, right? And from that 65 million, 60 million were listings, right? We sold 150 homes last year. From that 150, we had 112 listings.
This is at your previous broker.
No,
or
this
your
is with
7
Rio.
months?
This is with
So
Rio.
that's your 7 months.
Last year,
Okay.
right? 112 homes that we sold, listing size.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's 112 at a different market. Maybe that 112 would be 300, right? But it doesn't matter. I'm a big believer. It doesn't matter what market we're in. I don't care if the supply is low.
No.
Right. I don't care if the supply is
Right.
low. We're creating the supply.
Yeah.
Right. So a lot of my agents work their way up to a 90% split, which
They
is,
don't start there.
they don't
What
start.
is the starting point?
They start, and is it because you train them?
Yes. So if you have a top producer,
Education.
education is key, right? Because I'm really giving them, I'm cutting their learning curve by,
You're getting into producer.
like quick, right?
Right.
So
It's in your
everybody that
best interest to do
starts is a 50-50, right? But then they have a $6,000 cap. which
Is that industry standard, by the way?
No.
Okay.
But that's my standard because I put a lot of time and
value.
energy into that. I know my value.
Yeah.
But the upsell to that is there's a $6,000 cap, which is 2 or 3 transactions that they have to close. And then I take them from a 50 and I shoot them right up to a 70% across the board.
Is that still with us? Well, 70% with what cap then?
There's no cap. That's it.
Oh,
They're
okay.
done.
So you just have a few transactions.
And
That
is,
makes sense.
yeah,
and
That's
is
fair.
that industry standard?
That is industry
It
standard.
makes sense because they're going to pay for the education. That's
Right,
correct.
but it also says that you're serious and so are you. You
Correct.
know?
No, of course.
And but see,
Your
here's,
willingness needs to match your willingness.
and here's the
Right.
crazy thing. So I'll get a lot of agents that have been now producers with me that have come from different brokerages that where they started at a 70, 80, 90% split.
Yeah.
And they're not closing shit.
Listen, I'm in the commission business, right? And I have people that come with, they're like 60, 70%. I'm like, yeah, what? You know what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
What are you bringing?
That's
What are you bringing?
Yeah, of course.
Like, I want to see the end game, right? So
Yeah.
that's part of the education too. Like
Right.
when we get a stylist, for example, or a tattoo artist, and they want this high, I'm like, yeah, but do you understand what my company does? Like
Right.
we charge hourly, we put on marketing ads, everything. So you know your value. All
I
right,
know my value.
give us just because we got the
Yeah.
I have
the
one more
sign.
question
Go ahead.
to
Yeah.
understand from my perspective.
Yeah.
You said you have 150 agents, so now you're a broker owner, or you?
No. So
Okay.
I'm a team
With
leader right
managing?
now.
Okay.
I'm a manager.
Okay.
So we opened up an office, small office, because we still need an office to work from.
Print things.
Print things. Tiana is the broker
Right.
associate, broker manager of the office. And we'll have a full-fledged office operating in Wallington, New Jersey, right over here. 150 agents, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
God bless, man. That's great.
And my goal before we end, right, is in the next 5 years, by the time I'm fully in Miami, I'm going to have 10,000 agents underneath me.
All right.
That's the goal.
Give me now only because you do that now I'm gonna challenge you. So what's your gross revenue going to be at the end of the year?
This year, gross revenue, 2 million.
2 million?
Yeah.
And in 5 years?
25 million.
It's going to take you 5 years to get to 25 million? You don't got to answer that. Just I want you to marinate with that. So
I mean, that's a good question.
Marinating's key, bro, by the way.
Listen, thank you so much. I really appreciate
Awesome.
you coming. Tell them where they can find you on IG. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah. Dr. Real Estate _ Dr. _ Real _ Estate. All my shit is there. So
You get
Shoot me a
back to
message.
everybody. They DM you and everything.
I get back to every single person. If you're an agent, shoot me a message. If you're a broker owner, shoot me a message. If you're a team leader, shoot me a message. If you're a loan officer, shoot me a message.
If you have something to sell, shoot me a message, and then I'll shoot him a message.
Now
Listen,
give him a referral fee.
look, I've done a bunch of deals with him. You know what I mean? Like I trust him. He makes it happen. Him and his girl. You know what I mean? For years now. And I don't really mess with anybody else. We've done a bunch of deals. So
Love it.
Thank you so much for coming. I
Thank you, guys.
appreciate it.
I think we're going to end with open that
Diaphragm,
diaphragm,
yeah.
bro. Some
Ooh.
high fives.
Energy just came out of me.
Thank you,
Marvin,
guys.
Throw them up. Take us out, homie.
Great episode, man.